Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ali and today I'm doing my January wrap-up. So I read 9 books in January, which is not the best but also not the worst. I was hoping to get through a few more, but it just didn't happen. So we're just gonna go and talk through the ones that I did read. Gonna try and keep it relatively short, but if there's one that you'd like to know more about, please let me know. So first book I read this year was The Great Believers by Rebecca Mackay. I love this book. It is just incredible. I gave it 5 stars. It made me cry, it made me laugh. It was just a really beautiful story. So it follows a young man named Yale, and he is living in 1985 Chicago at the height of the AIDS crisis. He's a young gay man, and it's sort of following him and his friends, and it's really emotional. It also follows one of Yale's friends, Fiona, living in 2015, and it's set in Paris while she searches for her daughter, and it's just, it made me cry a lot, and it's really beautiful, and it's one of my new favorite books, and I've been like screaming about it everywhere. So if you haven't heard me talk about this one, then I don't really know what you've been doing. Next one, I decided that after that, it's kind of a hunker. I would read some poetry. So I finally picked up Carrying the World by Maxine Bemba Clark, who is one of my favorite authors. She can literally do no wrong. I gave this one 4 stars. I just love her, and this one was really great, and it was again really emotional, but it was kind of a nice thing to follow on from The Great Believers with. And so after that I decided that we'd go back to another massive book, and I finally read Geminal by Amy Kaufman and Jake Kristoff. I enjoy this series. I'm not like a huge fan of it. I know lots of people get really like obsessive and excited over it. I think it's okay. It's a fun series, but I feel like a lot of it goes over my head and I just kind of miss stuff. But I did still enjoy it. And you will have seen, if you saw my January book haul the other day, I did buy Obsidio. So I'm finally going to finish the series. I enjoyed this one. I thought it was fun. Speaking of fun, I read American Witches by Susan Fair, or I finished it. So I started this one in October while I was in the US. I bought it over there, and I read like the first 200 pages or something, and then just put it down and didn't pick it back up again. And so I finally finished off the very small amount that I had to read. I enjoyed this one. Again, it was fun. It wasn't quite what I was expecting. I still gave it 4 stars, but I was kind of expecting something a little more serious, and this is kind of a very humorous take on the whole thing. I just wanted a little bit more of the psychology behind the idea of witches and things like that. But that was maybe my fault for expecting something out of this that kind of wasn't but I still enjoyed it, and I would still recommend it. Doing that for you. And then I went back to some poetry because when I feel like I'm not reading enough books in a month, I will just like read as much poetry as I can. So I read Love and Misadventure by Lang Leave. I originally didn't like Lang Leave like at all, and I've read a few of her collections now. I think this was my third, and I do actually kind of enjoy them. I think she can be like incredibly melodramatic, like even more dramatic than most like Insta poets, and I'm not really into that, but she does have some really nice poetry in here, so it's worth a go. And then I read this little one, which is I think it's just the selected poems of Anna Akhmatova. This is one of the Everyman Library Pocket Poet editions. I really love them because they're so pretty. I have Byron and Shelley, but they're just so pretty, and they remind me of like the kind of books that my my grandma would have owned. Comes with a little string as well, which Percy attacked. And yeah, I really liked these. I've read Requiem a few times, but I hadn't read anything else by her. And yeah, I enjoyed them. I gave this 4 stars as well, and I just it was good. It's not the best poetry that I've ever read. She's not my favorite poet, but I would really be interested in reading like a full collection of hers. And yes, I'm glad that I did read this. And then, this was my least favorite book of January. Reading wise, I had a really good reading month. And then I had this. This is The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokski. I say it different every single time. I don't know what's right. This was one of my most anticipated books of the year, and look, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't what I wanted. I read a full review on this on the blog, so I'll link that below. But the summary is that this is basically Six of Crows, but set in Paris, and it is missing that spark that Six of Crows had for me. So I gave this 3.5 stars. So it wasn't bad, but it was just like, yeah. I liked the characters, but I did feel like I could like line them up with the Six of Crows characters. So that's that. But yeah, I don't know that I would recommend this. I'd say maybe give it a skip if you like Six of Crows and don't want to read a carbon copy of it. But yeah, it was okay. And then I finished the month on a good note. I read My Love, Myra Atwood. This is the Penelope ad. This is a retelling of the Odyssey, but from Penelope's perspective, and so it's like you've got your like story, but then like in between chapters you've got like these little, let me try to find a good one. There are like little like songs and different things like that, and I really enjoyed it. It's a nice short book, and yeah, I gave it 4 stars, and it made me happy, and I was glad to be reading Atwood again. It's been a little while, so glad to be back in her capable hands. And there we are. That was my January wrap up. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in a couple of days time. I don't really know what video I'm going to be doing. I have a few in mind, so we'll see. which one works out. But until then, thanks for watching, and I will see you all then. Bye.